Hello.
Hello.
You are welcome
You're
back.
welcome. It's good to see you again.
Yes.
After a long break.
Yes, it's been a busy time. But we're glad to be here. And we're continuing our series, 7 lessons in 7 years of marriage. And what are we talking about today?
How to sustain attraction in marriage.
Yes, how to sustain attraction in marriage. I remember somebody called me and then was telling me that the husband said he wasn't sure they were friends. Then I've had another experience of calling a lady who, we were having a conversation with a lady who said she's not sure she still loves her husband. Now, the truth is, they do love their husband, okay? Or their spouses, but the passion, when you talk about passion, is energy, okay? The passion that drives the love has become so cold and weak. And that's what we are talking about today. And it can happen to anybody if care is not taken.
Yes.
So, and that is when marriages actually becomes very susceptible to a lot of third parties, infidelity, and what have you. So we just want to talk to you about what we have learned along the way that can help you. So first of all, on my own part, I think I should let you know that life is very draining. Doing life is very draining. All right, as you get married, there are things you want to achieve. You want to ensure that you are making progress as days go by, and you want to be sure that you are not a failure. Somehow you enter some competition nobody called you into. You want to look at your age mates, people who marry at the same time. They've bought their house, they have bought their car, and the pressure in itself is drawing so much passion. The same passion you are running with to achieve your dreams and purpose is actually the same passion
you need to
keep attraction, to keep the connection between you and your spouse. So, all right, it means that the more you are giving to life to become the you that you want in life, the more you should give to, your spouse, the more you should invest in the connections you get to your spouse. Because if you don't, now you'll be thinking, well, you understand that we have to put food on the table, we have to pay school fees, we have to do this and things like that. Well, you will do all of that and discover that you are two strangers living together. It's a matter of time. So the more you invest in life, in career, in raising a home, ministry, or whatever it is you're doing, the more you must be very deliberate about investing into yourself. I told couples, I was telling somebody recently, I said, sometimes, all right, you may have to, just like you spend money to anything important, you may have to spend money on your marriage, especially when you can afford a little, sometimes, you could take your spouse, all right, to just sleep in a hotel. It might be a very cheap hotel, just to sleep overnight. It's just to create, an holiday, a short holiday that can bring that sense of bonding. When you were cutting, how you cherish time alone. All right, all those things. You close the door. All right, I'm not saying those. I don't know. I believe some of you are born again, but it is between you and God. Those times you spent alone, that it is only God who knows what happened between you and your spouse behind the door. All right, but all those times you just want to be alone. When there's a third party, you feel like this is a witch, go, and things like that. All right, beloved, you have to spend such time again and again together deliberately. So, on my own part, I want to let you know that the more you give to life, the more you must be conscious to giving to yourself, to your marriage. All right, that's key. What do you want to say about that?
Well, I think everybody is going to come to that phase, like my husband rightly said. Everybody will come to that phase in their marriage where life will make demands. And let's even, of course, the general thing that people say is children. Let's even, before the children start coming, I mean, just a few months after into your marriage, you have things you want to do, there are goals you want to meet, there are siblings here and there, family responsibilities. I mean, your siblings, your parents, you want to take care of them, your social responsibilities and all that. Those things, they have a way of draining from you, and if care is not taken and you are not deliberate about paying attention to not losing your attraction to your spouse, it just happens like that you find out that you are no more attracted to your spouse, because you have not been deliberately paying attention, investing your time, investing money. He was saying the other time that sometimes you just take time out to be alone. You are just sleeping, just a place apart from home, where there will be no pressure, no children, no you can take a leave, something like just be alone with your spouse. It helps to refuel energy.
And you notice that time being alone is like what you say, the breeze has blown, we are now seeing the anus of the chicken. Because you will discover that over the time, you guys actually don't talk about yourself anymore. You don't talk to yourself anymore. The only that you talk about is about your children,
school fees,
their
clothes,
food that is expensive, how somebody abused you. I mean, there's nothing to, those things you used to chat about while you were cutting just disappeared. It is those moments that help you to bring such beautiful memories, and then you are able to rekindle, that
fire.
part of your relationship. I want to say this. One of the areas you must pay attention to, or else affection be dying, is the pains of your spouse. And people don't think about that. And let me talk about the pains, because the pains of your spouse are actually the complaints of your spouse. All right, sometimes we're like, why you being that childish now? You're just being childish with that small thing. I know that there's nothing like small thing, no. All right, in marriage, the pain, the complaints of your spouse. All right, the moment you start neglecting and acting negligent towards those things, all right, you are killing the affection you both share. You can't say that you're important to me and the things that hurt me badly means nothing to you. Okay, so if you claim to love your spouse, you don't just hear the pains and do nothing about it, the things that are of concern to your spouse. You also look for practical effort, all right, to undo that. And let me say this, and maybe in our next lesson we're going to talk about handling pains actually, because one of the things I've learned about pains is that pains are not erased. All right, pains are replaced.
Sweet memories.
Yes, you don't erase pain, you replace pain. So if somebody complains about an area where he or she is hurt, right, the only way to deal with that pain and expect that pain will be gone is to do the opposite of that pain, and then you replace that pain with pleasantness and things like that. So part of the things you must look forward to doing, all right, to keep the attraction is pains. Sometimes attention. You see some wives complaining about how their in-laws have been treating them, and and
the husbands are being quiet.
Yes, quiet. How you have been treating them. About couples who say complain that their spouses are no longer interested in them sexually, because most of the things the wife or the man had said towards making the sex life better were things that you never paid attention to. So the man just feel, or the woman just feel, what's the essence? All right, and all of that. So before you know it, the passion begins to win. And then that sense of butterfly that goes between you both just leave. So listening to your complaints and doing something about it, or talk about it. For example, men are men like to avoid conversations along, and every man, including
and
myself.
Women are conversation driven.
Anytime, that's why I said to people, never tell a man we need to talk. Remember, you say you need to talk, he's thinking, what crime have I committed this time?
Don't be talking.
Just talk.
Don't be talking.
We need to talk now. The guy like, I've committed another crime.
Just start talking.
And then the guy is like, there's a nightmare that the guy
catch him on our way. Just start
the
talking.
guy feel like, the last time she said we need to talk, we spoke for almost 3 hours.
Just
and
package
it was the same thing,
well,
the same thing. I don't know that. For a man, actually, it doesn't matter what makes a conversation worthwhile for a man is not how long it is. I tell you, but we don't know. It's when you're trying to talk about what is hurting you. For the man, an average man, let me say, because you never say never. All right, an average man. Some men are the one that will keep saying the same thing, repeating. But an average man, all right, just go to the point. But you know, some men, some women, like my wife now. My wife want to explain each of those points.
Yes.
When I went, you
understanding
remember,
is key.
You know, my wife say when I went to school.
Understand it.
When my wife say when I went to school, you understand? I mean went to. I mean past, not you know. I mean by the time she's done explaining the phrase, you are lost already. So I think you know an average man will appreciate. Just tell us, babe, this thing is hurting me. Please, can we stop it? And then you know, and then if he asks questions, say, okay, what do you mean by that and all of that?
What if he does not ask question?
Well,
he does not know how to stop. He just says okay, and he still repeats it because he does not actually know what the woman is saying.
We'll say it again then.
And that was frustrating. When the man feels like I said it like 3 times.
It comes by hearing. It's not every problem you handle by one conversation. That's the truth, actually. There's some things you have to say again
and again.
That man or that woman that you see today became so courteous by many things she had again and again. So you can't expect that you form a character, you build a character in a person just by saying it once. Some of those things don't happen once. You must be patient, all right, to say those things again and again.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I would like to say this actually, that when it comes to relationship, and I have seen this. It was one man of God that was saying recently that he went to minister in a place, and by the time he came back, he didn't feel like he loved his wife anymore. Now, sometimes attraction can be attacked.
A demonic attack.
It's a demonic attack.
Yes.
I was speaking to a young man recently. He said, right immediately after his wedding with his wife, he lost affection for his wife. I mean, that's when people call it honeymoon stage. Right after that wedding, he just lost his affection.
At the honeymoon stage.
All right. So, and then the thing is, when that happens, you look for an explanation for that incident. And your explanation many times is that, oh, maybe because she talks this way. Maybe because
there's always something to attach it to.
You always want to attach it, and a part of you wants the person you are dealing with to be responsible for that. And oftentimes it's not. So it takes somebody who is very, very observant in the spirit to know that, okay, how come this one have not done anything for me to me? I mean, it's as bad that you don't even want to stay around that person. That person begins to irritate you. You know, when the person is like, what's this saying now? You know, what are you know, that kind of irritation, you know. So when you feel that you cannot, you are trying to, what's the word now? This word, you are trying to manage to be around somebody. What's the word? You are trying to accommodate, tolerate, you know. It's a struggle. You are trying to tolerate the person.
Tolerating the person.
Yes, you know, you are not going to enjoy it. So it's the devil. Now, and listen, if you don't know, the devil hates good marriages.
Yes, it does. With passion.
That's the bedrock of any progressive society. Any child raised in a good marriage will most likely do well in life than the one who is not or who was not. All right. So, you know, so the enemy is after good marriage. If there are better marriages in a church, you can be so sure the church will do better. In a society. Children who comes from good marriage, you know, to school, we give less headache to the teachers. All right. So, you know, oftentimes, you know, the enemy seek to assault good marriages. All right. That's why are you so shocked people marry in 6 months they want to divorce, and they've been courting for 6 years. How come in 6 years you're not tired of each other, and in 6 months you're tired of each other? What happened? All right. It's an attack. All right. So that's why, you know, while I respect the counselors who do the psychological part of counseling in marriage, sometimes it's also very important that you see a spiritual person. And I mean, the person of a pastor, most likely, I mean, a Christian, all right, or a pastor. Because some other things that arises in marriage might not all just be something on the surface. It might be a demonic pattern trying to gain entrance into your marriage to establish itself again through you.
To continue the cycle again.
For example, all right, somebody whose father beats his mom. There could be a psychological impact on that child to beat his wife. But sometimes even if that child was not raised in the same place with the father, to observe that, or the mom kept that thing away from the children, there could be a demonic arrangement to, make that person, all right, bitter. So sometimes, like I say, when two people are caught, because people don't talk, I feel one of the issues you talk about is the homes where they are both coming from, because it already prepares them for the kind of demon that will automatically try to resurface. No, I'm serious. I'm very serious. All right. Already you know the kind of demon that will try to resurface, that once you see any trait like this, just deal with it. I rebuke you, spirits that that want to come into our homes and things like that. So it's good you talk about it. It's good you talk about it.
So you'll be prepared.
Yes, you'll be prepared, and both of you be prepared, and then you can help yourself, to deal with those challenges, when it happens. So sometimes when people just suddenly lose all the interest and affection for their spouse, all right, I've spoken to quite a number of people, especially if it's a couple who are a couple with a divine assignment, all right, like ministry. You have something that is really life-changing that you are doing. You must be particular about that. All right, so you won't do marriage like every other person, all right. So you've seen women who, for example, who try to solve such problems by wearing different clothes, changing attachment, different cooking, spiritual, especially. It won't work. All right, so it won't work. It won't work. So the only way is to deal with it spiritually, and somebody to talk to. I was talking to a young man about that recently, and it was as if I removed a veil from his eyes. He said, no, this shouldn't be able to say, sir. That's the truth, sir. He said, immediately after we wedded, I just saw that I was no longer attracted to my wife. I mean, immediately. I knew a man who I ministered to, like a friend, who the night he wedded, something in him just started telling him that he married wrong. I started crying. Imagine the honeymoon. Started crying. That's an attack. All right. So because oftentimes people play down on spirituality in marriage. All right, there's a part of your marriage that is very spiritual. A man is a spirit that has a soul into anybody. The woman you marry is a spirit that has a soul into anybody. So you don't just talk about the physical part, how the person looks. Oh, he's EP. Oh, the person is six packs. We thank God for your life.
It's a deep voice,
then you hear that
voice.
I like the emotional part. He says everything. I just want to hear the way I want to hear, the way I want to feel it, and this and that. Okay, that's good. But do you know the spiritual part? Okay. So it's very important. Get ready for the spiritual part too, and set your feet the right path to help you stand against such flows. All right. I think for me that's what I have to say.
And so because I want us to also look at it this other way. If there is a marriage, maybe if you're watching and maybe you are married and you're already experiencing some of these things, or you know someone that is experiencing, I feel we should also let them know how they can be helped, because I found out that especially for believers in Christian marriage, it happens. It will come for everybody. It has come for us. But thank God, who always causes us to triumph. I'm telling you the truth. And it will always happen. It comes with a general mass of heavy marriage experiences. That's when you're raising children. But that's usually the superficial challenge that you see. Meanwhile, there's a demon that is fueling the strife. There's strife. If he didn't talk to me well, didn't respond well. That's wrong. She should respond well. He should respond well. But when the pain is now getting deeper than what happened, this pain is getting deeper than what. So there's a demon that is sponsoring the emotions.
There are two sides to it. Okay, even after you deal with the demon, there's still something you have to do. So let's start with that first thing first, and we'll talk about dealing with the demon. You must bring courtship back to marriage for it to be an enjoyable marriage.
Dating.
I would like the word courtship, because I think the word courtship was no, right? Okay. The word courtship was, I think, if I'm right, it was borrowed from the relationship of birds. Did you understand? All right. And you see two birds, all right, and they're picking each other. They're using pick to talk to each other, pick things out of each other, all right. And and they're trying to familiarize themselves. They want to mate with the bird, but to mate with that bird, You have to, even birds have common sense.
Trying to create an attractive
environment
for the female to allow.
Because that's what we call, that's where courtship, you just courting, the bird is courting the other bird.
Trying to woo the other one.
Yeah, so courting, so, and then in courting, you say you dated, you went out, you eat out and things like that. You have surprises, you drop some once in a while text messages, notes,
sticky notes.
Do you know that there are couples who can't look into their wives
into
or
each other's eyes
for 2 minutes?
Wow.
Do you know that there are couples, they can't remember the last time they just touched their spouse suddenly?
Like,
I mean, not sex, not like you want to have sex.
Touching, not sexual touch.
No, just tickle.
The way you tickle your roommates. When you were
these were the things that you are tempted to do when you were caught and you are binding the devil.
Yes.
Now, these are the things you can't do. I always think, how come many things we need to do in marriage only remain as a temptation in courtship and not as a practice in marriage? Do you understand what I'm talking about? So, so you must bring courtship back, okay? You need to bring courtship back to marriage. All right, those things, before you know your wife, before you knew what you were calling your wife before you married her. Now, because she has given birth to 3 children, Tunde, Tola, mommy Todi, mommy Tunde, mommy Tola. So I remember an incident. Something that I really saw in my parent that really, really touched me sincerely, and I will never forget. My mom and my dad, when they were caught, and they did that in the early part of their marriage, because for me to note, my dad had a way of calling my mom without saying a word. It's a whistling.
Wow.
If we are 1,000 people, if my dad does that thing, my mom knows that she knows that maybe they will need to talk. Let me do the whistling. If you go and copy it and I catch you, all right, there's a copyright on this whistling. You must not do it. If you do it, God is in your house. So my dad will say, I can't even forget the sound. Once you hear, all right, my mom say yes, no word, nothing. You can imagine, So, and it worked. Well, maybe life happened along the way. They no longer do. Now, I'm not at all. Maybe they are doing that or not. I don't know. But then, that's, if you add some funful things like that, restore them. All right. Your emotional need will not change just because you married.
Yes.
No, it will never change.
It intensifies. That's
not just because you married, like you said, it intensifies.
So because responsibility will intensify.
Yes,
that's the truth.
And so some other things, that you did, eat out, once in a while, and when you are privileged to travel. No, for us, our work make it very difficult for us to go out. So what we do is that, let's say we are going for a meeting with our prospective parents, we probably love to go a day earlier, all right, or something, so we can just talk, laugh, watch TV, and all of that. Then for us, we have a day when we also do some other things that keeps the bonding and things like that. So that's the first thing. You must be deliberate, because action is very powerful.
Yes.
Action is very powerful. The number 2 is that you must pray about it. Sometimes you need to stand. Many times you have to take authority over that situation. Yes. Especially when you note that it's a reflection of something that has happened before. It looks like something that happened before. Don't watch it.
Marriages.
No situation changes by observation. Every situation changes, all right, by the input, deliberate effort put into it to cause a change. So, you have to take it. And sometimes you may also need to be prayed for. Sometimes you may need to be. Let me tell you another thing. We have not even mentioned this. A case of infidelity can affect attraction, even when both partners are not aware. And it will first start with the one who committed
the
infidelity, especially when it was an unaware thing. Let me explain what I mean. Something that he was caught into, let's say, maybe use E for the man, into because he was gullible.
He didn't really plan
He
for
didn't
it.
plan. For example,
he
he
was
went.
gullible.
His former friends, who was a girl, just called her. Please, can you come with your car? I have this terrible
I'm stranded
accident,
in
and
this
my leg
place.
just
Just
hurt
come and
me,
pick me
and
up.
none of that. And then you went there, but on getting there,
Without telling your wife that
the
you're going
lady
somewhere.
didn't wear underwear. All right, say we just drag you and lock the door and put the key inside her bra, and that's the end of the movie. And things like that. So, well, one thing: be wiser with life. Do you understand? Be wiser with life. Discretion. Okay. So when people who fall in that category of infidelity, they fear their wife too much to tell them. All right. Sometimes women too. So, for example, you see that man, the woman wife say, let's have fun together. I feel like I'm tired. Now he's not tired, but he couldn't imagine seeing the nakedness of that woman. I haven't seen another woman's nakedness. In fact, it happens more with women actually. All right, maybe their boss slept with them because they want promotion. So something just abused them and something just died on the inside of them. They feel ashamed. All right, the way they felt ashamed that another man is seeing their nakedness. All right, or the way they felt ashamed the first time the man will see their nakedness. So the shame comes back and feel like, no, I can't do this. All right, so then, God forbid, this is some other reasons where there could be such challenge is in the case of rape. So there are some psychological issues. So you will need. So all right, but I pray that's an extreme case. We'll not have that in Jesus' name. All right. So in all of these cases, one major step to breaking that bound at times is to have a conversation with a mature person who is having a fruitful marriage. All right. And then secondly is to take deliberate action. All right, deliberate action. Sometimes take a leave out of work, take a leave out of life. All right, sometimes some of us, we are taking life too serious, and people are dying every day. You are taking life serious. See, this life they've been doing before you came up. When you go, life will continue.
Life goes on.
People have been building houses before you came. They will still build us after you go. And some of us are buying houses that people built. So imagine marriages were lost for the same house. They could have enjoyed, and all that. So, try to enjoy life a little bit. All right. It doesn't have to be expensive, but please calm down. Be calming down. Be calming down. I'm an advocate of seriousness with life, diligence. All right. But I don't think it
Take
is.
some time out to unwind.
The Bible teaches of good success. Any success that sacrifices your home is a bad one.
There should be roundedness.
It's a bad one.
Success
that sacrifice your home.
Success everywhere
is a bad one.
Success everywhere.
It's a bad one. We hope we have said a lot. All right. So see you next time.
We see you next time.
Love you.
If you do have questions,
yes,
you can drop the questions.
You need help.
So you need help. On what we've just spoken about or
please
previous
reach out
episodes,
to us.
Please don't hesitate. We'd like to help you. We love to help you.
In Jesus' name.
God bless you.
Meanwhile, I've been thinking about it. Don't let me say we, but since I think we are now thinking about it. I'm thinking about having a master class with young couples.
That'll be good.
Okay, where they can ask questions. So if you're interested, put it in your comment section. Then we'll think about it. Okay. But if I don't have enough comment, let's say like 100 comment, I'm not going to do it because I'm busy. But if you can make me do it through comment, all right. Young couples questions. Any questions, sex question,
handling children, handling in-laws,
couples within the first 2 years, no more than 2 years. More than 2 years.
0 to 2 years.
Yes, 0 to 2 years of marriage. That's what we want to talk about. We don't talk about those of you who are now in PhD level of marriage. Thank you. See you later.
All right, we'll see you later. Bye. Share this video.
Like, comment, share. All right, and let us know what you feel about what we share with you. Bye bye.